Hi, this is Steve at Hilltops IT, and in this video we're going to take a look at an Excel report that we created for a customer. This Excel report combines data from QuoteWerks and QuickBooks. So let's dive straight in. First off, I just want to show you how quick and easy the report is to use. All I do is have to put in an order number or a series of order numbers. They can be comma separated. A marketing consultant, let's put in JK. I can optionally put in these other pieces of information: show date, show name, reconciliation complete date and commission paid date. I'm not going to bother with that for now. I'm just going to dive straight in and hit the refresh all button. Bottom left here, you'll see it whizzing and whirring away. That's finished, and has produced us our reconciliation form. This used to take the customer hours, literally hours of manual painstaking going through QuoteWorks, going through QuickBooks, going through PDF scanned copies of bills, of credit memos, of invoices, of all the rest of it. As you can see, we've created this report in a matter of a few seconds. If I wasn't doing all this waffling, what we're talking 4-5 seconds maybe to produce this. This information is on the right hand side, is being pulled from that first tab. If I just go back and complete that, so it's for ABC widgets. Let's say it was the big widget show, and the show date was, let's go for the 4th of April, and initial reconciliation complete, that's today, 15th of the 4th. And let's say we're going to pay at the end of the month, April 30th. So yeah, going back to the reconciliation form, you can see this is now populated. Of course the user could populate it on this screen, but we wanted to make this as simple as possible. There's just one place where the user would enter this information and complete the reconciliation form. If we click on some of these, you can see that the information is being pulled off of some tabs within this workbook. If I just right click here and go unhide, you can see we've got a whole bunch of different tabs that we've got: bills, credit card charges, etc. on. Again, we wanted to have this visible and available. We could have done this many different ways, but what I wanted to do was create it so it's visible as to what's being included, what is not being included. That helps me from a kind of developer stroke support point of view to be able to understand why information is being pulled through or why information is not being pulled through when we're when we were developing this and when we were trialing it in different scenarios. Also, for the user, once they understand the information that's being pulled through, they can kind of debug stuff for themselves, if you like. So yeah, like I say, pulling all this information from all the different tabs. So let's have a look at a couple of the techniques we're using on these tabs. If I unhide this QuoteWorks document items one for a start, there we go. Okay, so this is all the document items information for this order number 46881P. The customer, Trisource Exhibits, they have a convention with the way that they number things. P is project, FR is freight, ADD is additional, and they've got a number of different conventions that kind of indicate what the order was for. And any one order could be made up of several different ones. So yeah, as you can see, this is the formula that we're pulling that piece of information from. QuoteWorks document items B58, and that is using a formula. If I double click on it, it'll highlight the cells, make it a little bit more easy to read. So what that's saying is, if the vendor this column in blue, is Trisource rental, the extended cost, this column in red here. So it's only summing certain line items on the from the document, and it's these Trisource rental ones. Let's go back to the reconciliation form. See, we've got ABC widgets. This was actually made up of a couple of different orders. The P project, FR freight. If we have a look at that tab, that's sales invoices B12. So if I just unhide that, sales invoices, and there we've got our B12, which is pulling the information from this field. The reason that it's pulling from this is a field that's taken from the database, and it's concatenating the the order number with the order date from QuickBooks. I couldn't find a way to do this in Excel, hence using SQL Server to concatenate that piece of information, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. One other thing I wanted to show you on here, this reference number here. This is that convention. We'll also see it on, let's unhide one of the items ones, bill line items. Again, in this memo field here, they're using that convention, P project. Sometimes they don't put a suffix on at all, but it's using these to know which line items, which header items in QuoteWerks terminology that it needs to pull through onto this report. This design one is quite a fun one. It's another SUMIF. So this is looking for this particular code, which is design work. There's a similar one for art prep as well, and those get fed into these pieces of information here. So this is using the bill line items B16 field, bill line items B16, the number of hours. If we scroll across here, we'll see where it's pulling it from this field here, and summing it by the settings B15. Now, I didn't mention the settings before. Again, this is something that we could have hidden away, and I think unconditionally currently these are the values that they use as part of their commission reconciliation calculations. Art prep hourly rate is £75, design hourly rate £90, and then various different markup percentages. This is giving us a list of the marketing consultants, project managers. If we look in this field, this is marketing consultant, yes. Is project manager, sorry, yes. That's being defined by the value entered here, and if it's one of the values that has been entered in here. So if I was to change this to JJ, you'll see that they're not a marketing consultant, they are a project manager, and it's changed some of these values accordingly, which then on the commission reconciliation form will affect how those values are calculated. And those values are calculated over here. And again, we're seeing these just for reference. These are being pulled off of that settings tab to be able to do those calculations. There's quite a lot of information there, but I think the point I guess I'm trying to illustrate here is how long it was taking them to do this manually. Now within 3, 4, 5 seconds, all I've got to do is tap in a quick code or a couple of quick tap codes, enter in the marketing consultant or project manager's initials, hit that refresh button. You saw that on the data tab. and my report is calculated for me. I could get further into this, but for now that's what I wanted to illustrate to you. To give you a bit of understanding of the technology that we're using, we use SQL Server, and again, to help us with understanding what information is being pulled in, we're storing all the information within these temporary tables. Now these temporary tables get refreshed overnight from the information in QuoteWerks. The user does have a manual override if they need to. If they just entered a bill that they needed to come in and refresh the data of, they have that in QuoteWerks. Let's just open up QuoteWerks quickly. And let's log in as Trisource. And if we look on the Tools menu, we've got these import QuickBooks customers, sales orders, etc., etc., etc. Import all to bring absolutely everything in. So they have got that manual override if they need to use it. But this gets refreshed overnight based on the anything that's changed within the QuoteWerks database. The links to QuoteWerks are live links. If I just open these up, if you speak SQL Server, you can see we're hitting the QuoteWerks SQL Server database direct to pull through the information, and we're just pulling through the fields that we need. We're not going to bother with any fields that we don't need. Looking further down, these are the stored procedures that we're using to pull information through. I like to use stored procedures rather than views or having the queries within Excel, just because, again, from a debugging point of view, it makes it a lot easier to understand, and I'm not fiddling around within an Excel spreadsheet. If there's a fix I need to make, if there's a change I need to make, I can just change the query in here and not have to reissue another Excel spreadsheet. That the change will be immediately realised in that Excel spreadsheet. One of the things that I was going to show you is which one is it? This sales invoice refs and dates. Now I said I couldn't work out a way to, it's on this one, wasn't it? Yeah. I couldn't work out a way to bring this into QuoteWerks and concatenate it from here, given that there could be 2 lines on here, 10 lines on here, but maybe that's my lack of Excel skills. But however, there's a number of different ways to solve the problem. So what I did was use a function called stuff, and yeah, as you can see in here, we're doing slightly different things based on some of the suffixes. If it's an ID, we do something slightly different to it being an S to being anything else. If I just change this to 46881, then I can just run that. And there you can see that's the value that we got pulled through to the Excel spreadsheet. I hope this has been useful to you, giving you an insight into what we can do with QuoteWerks, what we can do with QuoteWerks add-ons, and how quick and easy we can make some of those very, very labour intensive, very manual, very, with respect to the user, prone to user error tasks. If you'd like to know more about what we can do and perhaps how we can help you, my contact information's on the screen now. There's a Hilltops IT website which will tell you more about QuoteWerks and the services we offer there. There's the Connect It Software website where you can find out more about the products we've got, the add-on products and the custom solutions that we've done. Telephone number and my email, steve@hilltopsit.co.uk. I look forward to hearing from you and solving some of your business challenges soon.